Members of 2 ATU Massachusetts locals are part of a major community organizing campaign to increase service. What Locals 174 and 1037 lack in numbers is made up in energy, enthusiasm, and a dogged pursuit of equality for their passengers who are left stranded when the transit system, and some say the cities of Fall River and New Bedford, close down after 6:30 every night and all day Sundays and holidays. They have formed Bus Riders United that is affiliated with People First, a group that is active in both cities. Eric Carvello and Gary Pyrus and their members, with the help of community organizations, have been ramping up the pressure on the Southeastern Regional Transit Authority, which runs the bus system. Added service is a win-win for everyone. In Fall River, where the unemployment rate hit 18.3% in March, while New Bedford's rate was 15.5% that month, new service will create jobs, give the cities additional sales taxes from shoppers and diners, as well as payroll taxes from new hires. More service will also reduce auto pollution, which has negative effects on those with asthma and respiratory ailments, which cost the city and state money for hospital care. Added service will also increase revenue for the authority and reduce traffic congestion as more people leave their cars at home. Traffic congestion costs employers money. In New York City a few years ago, a business group said traffic congestion cost employers there $5 billion a year. That's billion, not million. The ATU locals have allies in the Greater Southeastern Massachusetts Labor Council, as well as the mayors of the 2 cities who control a majority of the vote on the Transit Agency Board. Both mayors have come out in favor of added service. The ATU presidents are lobbying business owners who will benefit from the added service, and ATU members will be active in this fall's election campaign. Casey Stanton from the ATU Field Mobilization Team has been working with the 2 locals, as well as other Massachusetts locals who see the alliances with passengers as the key to improving service. And now we get to the serious segment of this program. We are outside the home, the former home of Lizzie Borden, who, as all of America knows, gave her parents 40 whacks until they died. And what's happening with mass transit now across the country, instead of 40 whacks, they're getting 50 whacks, one for each state. All the passengers who are getting cut in their service, who are being subjected to higher fares, and the workers to lower salaries and benefits, are getting whacked every single day that the national government doesn't increase funding for mass transit. In fact, at the sign that outside this house, it says no vacancy. Apparently, you have to wait 2 years to get into this bed and breakfast. And the way things are going in Washington, that's what's going to happen to our passengers. There'll be a waiting list. Already there's no vacancies on our buses. Those of you who live in big cities especially, but everywhere in America, there are no vacancies on buses. They're overcrowded, and there's not enough weekend and Sunday service. So the way things are going, what you have to look forward to is basically the next couple of years of no vacancies on your buses. The same fate that befell Lizzie Borden and the family and everybody here in Fall River who wants to stay in this house. We just met a woman from Pennsylvania who showed up, and she was heartbroken that there was no vacancy. So she's trying to get a bus back, but I think there's no vacancy on that bus either. So this is Jim Callahan in Fall River, Massachusetts for ATU International.
Well, what we've been trying to do is to organize the passengers with some of the other groups in New Bedford, the senior citizens, the disabled, the students out at UMass, and they formed a group called People First, and they've even hired an organizer, somebody to ride the buses all summer, to take down information and have cards signed. These folks are trying to get more service later in the evening and also on Sundays and holidays, like we used to have many years ago. And that's been what's been going on so far. And we've been in contact with CERTA, which Mayor Lang is chairman of the board. He's been helpful and supportive of those initiatives and getting the people more voice to be heard on that board.
Mr. Mayor, we were riding the buses yesterday and interviewing people, and every single passenger practically said to us if there was Sunday service, they would go to shopping. So my question is, what do you hear from business leaders about adding this service, and wouldn't it be good for the economy and the environment?
Well, Jim, I support Sunday service. I also support evening service.
So we're here trying to get the towns of New Bedford and Fall River to add Sunday service and more night service. What do you think that would do for the town?
That would be a great idea because on Sunday we have no place to go, you know. People want to go to the movies, shopping, and we're stuck.
A lot of seniors and disabled friends of mine asked me if I could do something for Sunday service. And in the space of 2 days, we managed to acquire 600 signatures from people and 150 from local merchants and smallest mom and pop to the biggest corporations. And I'm an advocate for the seniors. I'm on the Council on Aging Board, so I know a lot of people would like it. You know, and a lot of people who were friends of mine who told me they had to turn down jobs because they couldn't work Sunday or overtime.
What did the merchants say to you? Why did they sign the petition?
The malls are empty, you know, on Sundays. And the same thing about employees. Some people they couldn't hire, qualified people as a matter of fact, because they couldn't work Sundays.
So the union here is trying to get more service on weekends and extended service at night. What do your passengers think about that?
They all agree they want it. People are saying that they could get a job, but they can't get the job because we don't have late enough service or weekend service. So I think it would be good for them. I think we would get more passengers if we actually extend service.
So it would be good for the economy of the town, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Let me ask you this question. Have you noticed at all an increase in ridership as the gasoline prices go up?
Yes, I have. It's not where I feel, think it should be. But yes, I have seen some increased ridership, but I would have felt that would have been a lot more.
But there are some people who are leaving their cars home.
Oh, yes. And I've heard it from people saying that we're taking the buses. They're taking the transit buses now because they need it.
So I understand the mayor is with you, and the mayor of Fall River is with the union in terms of getting more service. Is that a good sign, and do you think that'll happen?
I believe it's a good sign that they're trying to help, the city out and to get the more service. And I hope they're with us, you know what I mean?
I'm Cynthia Rodrigues. I'm president of the Greater Southeastern Mass Labor Council in southeastern Massachusetts.
My name is Eric Cavallo. I'm the president business agent for ATU Local 174 in Fall River, Massachusetts.
My name is Jose Soler, and I'm the director of the UMass Dartmouth Labor Education Center and also a member of the AFT.
I'm Corinne Williams. I'm the Executive Director of the Community Economic Development Center here in New Bedford, Massachusetts.
And I'm Gary Pyers, the President Business Agent of Amalgamated Transit Union Local 1037 here in New Bedford, Massachusetts.
My name's Kim Wilson. I'm a labor educator at UMass Dartmouth, the Labor Education Center.
And tell us how you're working with the community to improve mass transit.
We have worked to find a fabulous intern who's actually going on the buses and in the terminal to find out who would like to take action for better transit. So we facilitated being able to find an intern and then to work with her to support her, come up with materials together to have expanded service.
And some of the other groups you're working with are?
Some include, well, the primary group is the Community Economic Development Center of Southeastern Mass. They're actually hosting the intern in their office and doing lots of work. We're also working with the Coalition for Social Justice. They've been wonderful. We have a lot in common what our goals are. And many other groups off the top of my head I'm kind of blanking out, but if I could look at some notes, I'm sure I could come up with all of them. But those are the prime organizations.
Do you have a website?
Yes, we do, for UMass Dartmouth Labor Education Center. Put that in Google, it'll pop up.
And tell us what's happening on July 18th.
We're having a meeting of all the community supporters of the expanded service, and we're doing that through a sign-on letter to have organizations sign on that they support the work we're doing, and those people who sign on will be invited. It's an open meeting, but trying to get everyone together to try to organize more effectively and to really use this summer for the biggest impact on changing, expanding service, and trying to seize the moment with the elections coming up in the fall and really push for the agenda, the change that we want to see.
So 1 year from now, when I interview you, what progress are you dreaming about making?
Well, we will have an organization which has started, Bus Riders United of Southeastern Mass, and through that organization we'll have new initiatives beyond just expanded evening and weekend, but towards better service for people with disabilities and better service to reach all the employers in the area and the industrial parks and beyond. But not just that, I mean, these are our local goals. We want to be a part of statewide and national fights for better, more revenue, better funding, and just a better infrastructure, because you know, public transportation is a right that people have, and it's something that is not what it should be, and there needs to be pressure from all the riders and the organizations that support them to really have an improved system. And we need to look at the structure of the system, not just our local goals, but tie in with the bigger picture about what the crisis is with funding of public transit.
My name is Siggy Malis, and I'm a community organizer working on transportation issues in southeastern Massachusetts.
And you're spending the summer doing what exactly?
I am trying to organize the bus riders who use CERTA services to push to work and fight for better services, primarily weekend and evening services.
You're actually going on the buses to talk to passengers?
Yes. I'm working out of the Community Economic Development Center, where we created materials to pass out to riders about the situation, about the service, how buses don't run past 6 o'clock and buses don't run on Sundays. And we've been asking them to actually get involved and sign a support card with their contact information, saying that they support an increase in bus services, and they'd actually like to, you know, get involved when there's things going on that could improve the service.
Is your goal to ride on every route in the city between now and the end of the summer?
Well, ideally, yes, but I'd like to run them more than once. I'd like to talk to and see as many people as possible and talk to as many riders, not only on the buses, but in the terminals, in different community groups, at, you know, gatherings, functions, things like that.
What do they say to you? I mean, they don't know you, and you come on and you start talking. Do you make a speech, or do you go one by one? How does that work?
Usually just one by one. You know, if someone's sitting in the terminal, I'll just introduce myself to them and tell them who I am, what I'm working for, and tell them a little bit about the issue if they don't already know. But most people who are riding the bus know that it doesn't run past 6 or on Sundays, and they're very, you know, into it. They want to see change. They want to see more buses. They want to see them running later. They want to see them on Sundays. And yeah, everyone's really excited to see that they can get involved in this and actually see something happen.
So why are you doing this?
Because I believe that public transportation is, like Kim said, it's a right. You should be able to get around where you live, and just because you can't afford a car, you aren't able to drive a car, doesn't mean you shouldn't be able to use public transportation in your cities.
My name is Susan DeShanes, and I've been driving for 25 years.
So you remember that when there was Sunday service. Tell us.
Yes, I do.
Tell us what the difference is.
I was a Sunday driver for years when there was Sunday service, and a lot of people, I mean, all 3 buses, especially the demand response buses, were out, and all 3 buses were full on Sundays. Nursing homes, church, dinner after church. I mean, sometimes one individual would use the service 3 times in just that day.
They would go out to a restaurant for dinner.
They'd go to church, then they'd go to the restaurant, then they'd go to their relatives, or we'd take someone from the nursing home to visit the family for the day and then pick them up later, and they really used it.
Tell us how important it is for the members to get involved beyond just going to the union meetings.
Well, union involvement's always been very important to me. I came in here a union believer. My father was a lifelong bus driver. He was also president of the local for a number of years. So I've attended union meetings from day one. I know what a union can do, what it's done for my family, what it's done for my lifestyle, what it's done for my job protection, and there's just no getting around it. That's just the way I look at it. That's the way I've always looked at it. That's why I'm a long-time contributor to COPE, and I've never begrudged paying my union dues. It's been a great investment.